Okay, cool. So let's get this started. It's actually great to hear people from so many places. We have people from Europe, where actually both Rita and I are based at right now. From the U.S., Denver, Florida. So well, welcome everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Today we're going to be talking about how to increase user retention on your online store. ReferralCandy is joining forces with Soundest for this webinar, and so I hope that everyone is ready to learn. We try to make this webinar as useful as possible and to get as many actionable tips as possible for you. So as soon as you finish this webinar, you're able to apply them on your online store. So whether you are a marketer that's working for an e-commerce company, or you have your own small e-commerce shop, we'll be able to teach you tips and give you some strides that you can follow to apply them to your online store. So before we start, I would like to obviously introduce myself. So my name is Raul. I'm the partner manager here at ReferralCandy. ReferralCandy is an app for e-commerce stores that allows them to run customer referral programs. So if you are thinking about boosting your word of mouth, feel free to shoot me an email or write me here on Twitter to continue the conversation, and we can talk about this. And with me today is Rytis Loris, who is the founder and CEO of Soundest, and I would like to welcome him to the webinar. Rytis, how are you doing today?
Hey, nice to meet you, and nice to see that we have attendees on this webinar. And I hope, yeah, that together with you all, we will share some actually actionable tips and hints how to communicate with customers and how to retain them.
It's a pleasure for me to have you here, Rytis. I have to say, everyone.
Thanks for inviting.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It's been great. And something I would like to say is that I've been learning a lot over the past couple of weeks while we were preparing the webinar. I've learned a lot from Rytis, so I hope that you guys have again some Google Doc open or something so you can take notes. And because there's a lot to be shared today. For those of you who don't know, Soundest is an easy-to-use email marketing solution for small and medium e-commerce stores. It works out of the box, so there's no need to code, design, or build anything in order to use the service. And so actually we'll be giving some more information about Soundest and ReferralCandy at the end of the webinar. But before we do that, some quick notes about the webinar. So it's going to take about 60 minutes, depending on the number of questions that we get. It's being recorded and it will be sent to everyone who registered. If you have any questions, please use the chat box, and we'll be able to get them answered during the webinar or at the end. And there will also be some giveaways. So again, if you're thinking about starting a referral program for your store, or if you'd like to set up an email marketing campaign, stay till the end of the webinar. We'll let you know how you can benefit from special deals for our audience today, both on ReferralCandy and Soundest. And now this is what you'll be learning today. So we divided the webinar in two. So first, I'll be talking about how important really customer retention is for your commerce business. So the numbers behind it. I always like to start giving some number and stats about whatever topic we're talking about. Then we're going to be talking about how to keep your brand top of mind. So there's different ways that you can get your customers to stay more loyal and to increase customer retention on your store. So I'm gonna focus on different ways on how to keep your customers thinking about your brand, and then now that you got your customers thinking about your brand, how you can get them to talk to their friends and family about your store and generate referrals and generate word of mouth sales from that. And then Rytis, on the second part of the webinar, he'll be talking about how email is still actually the most effective channel for retaining customers, and he'll be sharing some interesting stats. Actually, I was very surprised by some of them, so he'll be sharing that with you guys in the second part of the webinar. We'll be talking about subscribers, promo campaigns, newsletters, automation. So again, a lot of stuff that we are going to be talking about. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat box, and we will stop actually several times to answer them, and there will be a Q&A session at the end. Okay, so let's get started with customer retention. And like I said before, if you have been to one of my webinars before, you probably noticed that I always like to start the webinars talking about numbers, not because I personally like numbers, but because I think it's the best way to explain why a topic it's so important, why this is something that you should focus on your online store. So I'll be sharing some stats and some of the studies that are behind customer retention, and I'll also explain the case study actually of two companies that were actually saved from bankruptcy thanks to customer retention. But I'm gonna start with I'll say my favorite one is the fact that it costs on average 5 times more to acquire a new customer than it does to keep an existing one. Now, I'm pretty sure that no one in this room is extremely surprised right now. It makes a lot of sense. Once you have acquired the customer, well, the cost of acquiring that customer is already paid off. You got that person that didn't know about your brand to get to your store and buy something. So, well, you got an ROI from there. So of course, it makes sense that it's cheaper to retain a customer than acquire a new one, someone that doesn't know about your store. But the thing is that most of the e-commerce store owners that I talk to, they focus a lot more on how to get new customers to a store rather than how to make sure that the ones that are with me are happy and come back to my store and keep buying from me, and they don't go and buy from my competition. And so all these numbers and stats that I'm going to share with you are probably going to sound very well, not surprising, I guess, but it's something that most e-commerce stores owners don't realize that's the number behind it, that's the stat, and that's something that you should really pay attention to. And in the same line, of course, a 5% increase in customer retention produces more than 25% increase in profit. Why? Because that customer is already with you. You don't have to acquire the customers. That cost is gone. And also, this is something I mentioned in my previous webinar. Actually, is the fact that the best salespeople are your company, are your customers. And the main reason it's because they already know about your value proposition, and not only know it, but they believe it. They believe in your value proposition because they were convinced enough to pay for it. So it's very interesting to keep in mind that just a small increase in customer retention produces a very interesting increase in profit because there's no cost associated with that. And therefore, the probability of selling to an existing customer is between 60 to 70%, according to some studies. And obviously, the probability of selling to a new prospect, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the people in this room, including me, have worked in sales before. Won't be surprised to know that only between 5 and 20% of prospects actually convert into customers. And so, again, this is something that you need to keep in mind when thinking about customer retention. It's how cost effective it is, and actually how it can turn into new sales and new customers. And we'll talk about that, how to convert customer retention into referrals, into new customers. But now that we have looked at the numbers, and now that we see how important really customer retention is in terms of numbers, now I'm going to show you guys two examples of companies that actually were saved from bankruptcy thanks to the fact that they put a lot of efforts into developing a customer retention strategy. And this is one of them. This is HubSpot. It's a company from Boston, if I'm not mistaken. If anyone's from Boston and knows HubSpot, you can put it on the chat box to make sure that I'm not saying anything incorrect. But I'm pretty sure they're from Boston. It's a company that helps helps businesses to run inbound marketing campaigns. And it's a company that was founded in 2006. And it was only 2 years before the economy crashed in 2008. So not the best timing to start a company. And it was also a business that they were selling to other companies. So their churn rate went up because most of the companies that they were selling to so Michael's telling me the HubSpot is created in a suburb of Boston, Cambridge. Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't confusing HubSpot with another company. It's interesting, actually. They're not based in Silicon Valley. There's a lot of tech companies in Boston, but sometimes I guess don't pay attention to anything that's outside of Silicon Valley. That's kind of weird. But anyway, so HubSpot churn rate went up. So a lot of their customers who were companies that were either going bankrupt or they were facing hard times, they were either going bankrupt or they were canceling their accounts on HubSpot because they were cutting costs. And well, I'm assuming that an inbound marketing software, it's probably not one of those costs that you want to maintain when your company is not doing so well. So what they did, instead of instead of developing a very aggressive strategy to acquire new customers, what they did instead was to look at the data of their existing customers and see what's the perfect example of a customer that it's likely to churn, and when are these customers going to churn, so we can predict how much time do we have to gain this, not even gain these customers back, but just retain them before they leave the company. And so what they did is that they analyzed data of companies or customers that had canceled their accounts on HubSpot, and they were able to identify these companies within their customer base. And they reached out to them personally, and they said, "Look, we have this training that we can offer you, or there's this materials that we can offer you, or we can assign you like a personal account manager that's gonna make sure that you can get the most out of your HubSpot subscription." So they offered them special services, special features, deals, and even training materials to make them get the most out of their existing subscription, and to actually make their own ROI using HubSpot higher. And this is actually information that I got from a research paper from a senior lecturer at Harvard Business School. And if anyone wants to read the full paper, just send me a message. I'll send you the link. It's very interesting. But what Jill Avery, which is the senior lecturer, said during the paper is that HubSpot worked to eliminate roadblocks to usage so that customers could unlock the value of the product. So they focus on making the HubSpot experience a lot better for their customers to make sure that they will get the most out of it and they wouldn't cancel their accounts. And so what they got from that is that their customer churn rate decreased and HubSpot is still in business. So that was an example of a strategy that focused 100% on customer retention, and it worked. It actually saved the company literally. Another example applied to e-commerce, which is what we're talking about today. It's Karmaloop. Probably a lot of people here know Karmaloop. It's I would say probably one of the pioneers in the e-commerce industry. They were founded in the year 2000, so early days of internet, and I'm pretty sure that they were also from Boston. So the company went very well for many years, for over a decade. They made millions of dollars in revenue. They opened brick and mortar stores, so it went very well until about 2013, 2014, when they started to register technical bankruptcy, and they actually filed bankruptcy in 2015. Their profits were going downhill, and obviously not everything in life is black or white. So obviously there were a lot more reasons of why Karmaloop was going bankrupt. But we can probably narrow this down to two main mistakes. One of them was that they used investors' money exclusively to acquire new customers, and that strategy didn't really work that well, or as well as they expected. And also they didn't know how to retain existing customers. And so they came up with a plan to save the company. It was a rescue plan, and it had three main efforts. Two of them were focused on customer retention 100%, and then the third one was focused on attracting new customers, but with a very specific target. So the first two were to first of all get their most active users to come back, because that needs to be said. Karmaloop had very loyal customers before, but because of the aggressive commercial strategies that Karmaloop was following to acquire new customers, they were literally forgetting about the customers that they already had. And so some of these loyal customers were feeling that they were not being rewarded for their loyalty. And so the main target was to get these most active users to come back. Second, to get these customers to spend more money in the store. Probably because what we mentioned before, because it's almost pure profit, whatever future purchases you get from existing customers that are already loyal to your store. And then the third leg of this plan was focus on, okay, let's get new customers, but let's make sure that we target who is our ideal user and then go after those ideal users exclusively. Why? Because we can make sure that these are customers that we can retain and we can have them for a long time. They set themselves a timeline to develop this plan, and it was about a year, and they made it in 9 months. So the company was saved, and they were acquired in 2016. So another example of a company that was saved thanks to a customer retention strategy. So what this example teaches us that you don't need that many clients. What you really need is to keep these customers happy, the ones that you have, and make sure that they buy from you more and more often. And so that's pretty much what you need. Of course, it's important to get new customers, and it's crucial for the health of your business to get new customers, because churn exists, and customers are going to go to buy from our competitors at some point, and they will leave your store. But try to keep as many of them in your store and try to keep them as happy as you can. All right, so we cover the first part, which is the numbers behind it and why it's so important, customer retention. Now, during this webinar, we're going to talk about different tips and different strategies that you can follow to increase customer retention. Rit is going to focus a lot on email. And I'm going to share with you a few tactics that you can follow. Again, there's a lot more that you can do, but we decided to focus on these strategies that you can apply pretty much right away to make sure that your brand stays top of mind on your customers, and your customers think about your brand for as long as possible. So there's something that we like to call a referral candy. As you can imagine, we work a lot on retaining customers for our own for the commerce stores that we work for. We try to help them to increase loyalty within their customer base, and obviously to get new customers as well. And one of the things that we tell these companies to do is that they need to have what we call memorable messaging. So make sure that your message stays in your customer's head for as long as possible. And so for that, your message needs to be simple. So you need to be able to strip down the main ideas of your brand and keep it very simple. Try to come up with a pitch that it's very simple for your customers to remember, so they can also share with your friends. Make it simple for your customers to talk to their friends about your brand. Like I said before, and like I did in my previous webinar, I talk about the fact that your customers are your best salespeople, so help them sell. So give them a pitch that it's very easy to remember and that it's very easy to pitch as well. Make sure that your messaging is also unexpected. We are constantly competing for attention. I'm probably competing for attention. You are in front of a computer right now. I'm sure you're probably at the office, so there's probably a lot of things going on around you right now. I'm trying to keep you with me at the webinar, and our attention span as humans that we are, it's very short. And so you need to keep it unexpected. You need to keep your message new and refreshing, so people stick with you. And you need to surprise your customers. Let's say this is a great example that I always like to share. This is Ministry of Supply. It's a clothing company, and they developed this socks that had a cutting edge technology. I think it was called pressure mapping. And it was, I don't know the specifics, but it was a new concept of how to make the fabric for the socks, and they were making them in a way that was more durable. And as you can see, they were selling as performance professional comes to socks and everything. They had this technology that they have been developing for a long time, and they had probably spent a lot of resources on that. The thing is that their customers didn't really remember what the technology was or what was the process behind it, but what they did remember is that the company was using coffee grounds to keep the socks from smelling. And so customers starting to talk about these socks as coffee socks, and they were talking to their friends about the coffee socks that they have just gotten. And at some point they realized that people didn't really care about this new cutting edge technology. It was sad, but they realized that people didn't really care about the new technology that they had developed, but they liked the fact that their socks had coffee in them. And so they redefined their messaging, and they started talking about these socks as coffee socks. And then they actually saw an increase in referral sales after they switched the messaging. So again, try to keep it surprising, keep it also concrete. So make sure, this goes with simple, try to make sure that your customers can talk about your brand, they can remember your brand, and they can remember basically the core activity or the core service or the core value proposition that you have. So it's also easier for them not only to remember, but to talk to their friends about it. It also needs to be credible, of course. So it not only has to be credible, but it needs to look or sound credible as well. So keep that in mind as well. And then it has to be emotional in a sense that most of the purchases that we do in life are based on emotions. We don't make that many purchases that are focused on 100% on rational facts. And this is something that Ministry of Supply, the example of the socks, something that they realize is that people weren't buying the socks because they were analyzing, okay, how long these socks are they going to last because they have this new cutting edge technology. They didn't really care about that. They were buying it because it was fun, I guess. It was interesting. It was cool to have socks that had coffee in them. Probably would make for a good story for your coworkers. Hey, do you know that my coffees have sorry, my socks, my coffee doesn't have socks. It will be the other way around. It'll be kind of weird. That my socks have coffee in them as one of the materials that they used. So again, try to keep it emotional and try to tell a story. Try to make sure that there's a story behind your brand, because again, you're competing for attention and you're competing to stand out from your competition. And for this too, actually, for emotional and stories, there's an example that I love to share, which is Goldie Blocks. Goldie Blocks is a company that's an e-commerce store that sells toys. And so therefore we could say that they are in the toy business and they are competing with Toys R Us and Mattel and Hasbro and all these big corporations. So it's very tough for them to compete against them. And so instead of just focusing on developing toys, they are, I guess, making toys that encourage girls to become engineers. So their toys where girls can use, and it's actually focused on girls, as you can see here. And so they're toys that you can use to create structures or create vehicles, and they really have a story behind it. They really have a purpose, which is let's encourage girls to become engineers. So actually, if you guys have time, if you can look this, search for it on YouTube. It's a TED talk from David Sterling, who's the CEO of the company, about inspiring the next generation of female engineers. That's the whole story behind it. We're not only making toys, we're making toys that encourage girls to become engineers because we have a lack of female engineers. And so it's a great story. And I'm sure a lot of parents probably bought Goldie Blocks even for their sons because, well, maybe because they thought it was a great idea and they thought that the company had a purpose, had a mission behind it. So again, try to keep it emotional and try to make sure that you're telling story behind it. Besides messaging, something else that you can do to keep your brand top of mind is to offer periodic offers with variable rewards. So as soon as I show you the example, you'll understand it right away. So this is something that most mobile games or Facebook addicting games do, is that from time to time they have rewards with variable rewards, and they're not always at the same time. So they basically kind of like what Uber does during Christmas time. At least they do it here in Spain. I don't know if it happens in all over the world, but from time to time they run these campaigns where instead of giving you $10 for each referral link that you send to your friend or each new referral that you make, they give you twice as much. So they give you $20. What they get from this is that they're adding a time constraint and a sense of urgency, and so they are making you do something that you wouldn't have done at a different time just because you knew that offer was always there. But the fact that they're adding a time constraint, they increase the probabilities of you actually doing what they want you to do, which is sharing your referral code with your friend. And so by increasing the value of the rewards, they help you. In this case, what we'll do for your companies, they'll help you nudge your customers to make that purchase that they have been waiting for a long time, or that referral that, well, they're postponing somehow. And also social media. How to use social media to retain your customers? Well, our main tip here is to be useful. Now, there's this thing called the mere exposure effect, which just means that the more often your customers encounter your brand, the likelier they are to keep it in mind. Okay, so just because you're going to be in front of them, that just means that they are going to remember you. Now, just don't be too promotional. If you're going to be in front of your customers, or potential customers, try not to sound needy. Try not to sound like, hey, I'm just asking for a sale desperately. And so try to make your customers to make a connection with your brand, and try to create content that it's educational, that is relevant, that it's useful, and content that they can use whether they make a purchase on your store or not, but something that they can think about it and maybe again share with their friends. That's something that I would like to use as an example. If you follow Referral Candy on social media, either Facebook or Twitter, one of the main things that you'll probably realize is that we don't tweet or share stuff on Facebook that often. And one of the reasons why we do it is because we want to wait until we have good content to share. And so we have a blog where we share a lot of tips and a lot of content that is useful for e-commerce store owners, whether you have referral candy or not, whether you want to increase referral sales or not. We talk about ways to, for example, here to increase sales by optimizing your e-commerce store, or how other stores are increasing their referral sales by following X strategy, whatever it is. We always try to come up with content that is educational for e-commerce store owners. So that's something you can always keep in mind. And the last part of this first part of the webinar, it's about how customer retention helps you increase word of mouth sales. So how customer retention can help you get more referrals. So we've been talking about how to get your customers to think about your brand. Now it's time to make them talk about your brand. You need to keep in mind that most of your customers are probably willing to refer you. They're probably happy with your purchase, and yeah, of course, they'll be willing, not likely, but they'll be willing to talk to their friends and family about your brand and maybe get you a new sale. But just very few of them will actually do it. This is just human nature. And so you need to make sure that you are constantly encouraging these customers to refer you to their friends. This reminds me to a conversation that I had last week with another company. It's actually a SaaS company. It's a software company that they had an affiliate program, and they were telling me that it wasn't working very well. And when I asked him, okay, what's the pitch that you're using, or to share your referral program with your customers, or how does the referral email that you're sending to your customers look like? And they say, oh, no, we're not doing any of that. And I said, okay, well then how are you asking your customers to join your affiliate program? They said, no, we're not. And when I asked why, he said that they just didn't know how to ask for a referral. They felt weird asking their customers to hey, can you get me more customers? That was kind of weird for them to think about how to ask someone for a referral. And so I decided to come up with different ideas for them on how to increase these referrals in different ways. So some of them are more aggressive, let's say. Some of them are more, well, I guess less direct. And so one of the things that you can do, this is something you can install on your website, whether you have a referral program or not, whether you're using Referral Candy or not. If you want to start increasing your referral sales, something that you can do is to add a call to action on one of the pages that your customers visit the most. So this is an example of one of our customers. Let me know if you can see yeah, you should probably be able to see my mouse. Yeah. So at the footer, you see this call to action that says, hey, do you love 22 days nutrition? It's one of our customers. They sell nutrition supplements. It says, hey, do you love 22 days? Refer 22 days to friends and family and help spread the word. Another example of this will be Juve Foods, which is, I guess, a competitor. And they have this, actually, well, you should be able to see it now. Here at the bottom left side of the screen, they have this section that says get free meals. Okay, there we go. Now you should be able to see it's in orange here at the bottom left side of the screen. It says get free meals. When you click on that, it takes you to a call to action to join their referral program. And the referral program basically works that if you get one of your friends to buy something from the store, you get a free meal. And so this is a very indirect, I guess, call to action. You're not aggressively asking your customers to refer you to their friends, but you're letting them know that there is a referral program in place that they can benefit from. This obviously helps them keep your referral program and also your brand top of mind, and it triggers referrals. So if maybe if they didn't know that there's some sort of benefit that they can get from talking to their friends about your store, or if they didn't know that there's a referral program in place, they might not be motivated enough to refer you. Something else that we have seen our customers do is to add a post-purchase pop-up, and so it says, hey, like if you talk to your friends about our brand, you can benefit from a referral program, or just send them reminder emails. Remember that this is probably one of the most scary one. I would say when I talked to this company last week, they were telling me that they were scared of sending emails asking for a referral, but I really don't see what the problem will be to ask your customers to make a referral. At the end of the day, if your product was useful for your customers, it will probably be useful for their friends and family too. So at the end of the day, it's not like they're making you a sale; they're actually helping someone. And so this is something that we'll be talking about in a webinar that is coming up in a couple of weeks. So we'll be talking about how to get your customers to talk more about your brand. This is one of the things that I will share with you. It's the fact that most people share just because they want to be nice to other people, just because they want to make other people feel good. And so this is something you can do as well. Think about how you can ask your customers for a referral and make them feel good about talking to their friends about your store. All right, so summary of this first part of the webinar. Again, if you guys have any questions about this first half, this is the perfect timing. So please put it here in the chat box. We'll stop to answer them. But just a quick summary. First, it's cheaper to retain an existing customers than acquire a new one. So whenever you're thinking about, okay, what should be my strategy for the next quarter or the next year, consider yourself as someone that wants to retain customers, and consider retaining your customers as part of your strategy for the next quarter, the next year. Okay, I want to make sure that only a small percent of my customers cancel my subscription, or let's say more than 50% of my customers, existing customers, are actually coming back and buying something else from my store. We also cover how to stay in your customer's mind and for as long as you possibly can. So we share how to offering different rewards and offering different promotions and improving your messaging can actually help you stay in your customer's mind for longer. And we also cover how customer retention can help you maximize referrals. And it's just a natural move. You're actually making your customers think about you. Now make them talk about you. All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the second part of the webinar, and we have a question. I'd like to hear how ReferralCandy stands out from other options. That's a great question, and I think it will be better, Rytis. If you're around, I think it will be better to answer this at the end, because at the end I'm going to be talking about ReferralCandy and Soundest combined. And so, Ari, if you don't mind, first of all, thank you for your question. If you don't mind, we'll answer them at the end of the webinar. And so, Rytis, I'm going to let you talk to us about your second part of the webinar. Rytis, whenever you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready. If you may just help me with sharing a proper screen. Yes, slideshow. Yeah. I'm about to share my screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, guys, can you type here in the chat box if you can see Rytis' screen? That'll be great. I don't think we can
just to make sure that
no, we get a couple
because as we you cannot see. Can you see? Because yeah, guys, we are just in different locations, so.
Yeah, okay. So maybe Rytis, we can start, and if it doesn't work, we'll go with the plan B.
Okay. Yeah. So shall we start? And everything is okay? So do you have confirmations that people can see?
We still can't see it. All right, let me try something real quick. Sorry, guys. This is technology nowadays, right? Okay.
Yes, as we are like
this is probably the biggest
technology companies.
The biggest fear of someone who's running a webinar is that some technical issue will come up. But well, I can still. Okay, so Rytis, I'm going to share your presentation from my computer.
Okay.
which I have
See my
already.
screen, or okay, or look, there is an error, application error message.
Anyway, can you guys
No.
see? Can you guys see my screen? Okay. All right, Rytis, can you see as well? Okay, cool. So we're getting some yes here. So, all right, we should be ready to start. Rytis, whenever you're ready. Seems like we're having some sort of issue with audio connection now. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I can see that Rytis is having some problems with the internet connection. Okay. So yeah, issue with sound. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is that Ari, I'm gonna
Can
share.
you hear me now?
Oh,
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me
you now.
now?
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Yeah,
We'll have
thank
to
you.
wait until
Yeah,
the
so
end.
yeah, the application kicked me out for some reason,
Oh
some
no.
error occurred, and then I was kicked out. Okay, so I can see my presentation now on your screen, on your laptop, which is good. So I will
Perfect.
probably may start. So,
Sounds
and
good.
should I ask you to go to the screen? Yeah. Or
Yeah, I will just follow
maybe.
you, and yeah, I think we'll be able
Yeah.
to
Okay.
coordinate.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All yours.
So. Yeah, okay, guys. So it's really great to have all of you here, and I will talk about email marketing. As Soundest is actually the tool which is tailored for online retailers, and it's software as a service company. We build the tool to help you online retailers to do a better email marketing and to increase sales and save time, both, which is very important, to save time and to increase sales as you do online business, and especially online stores. Yeah, so we have more than 24,000 online stores using Soundest worldwide in more than 130 countries. So it's pretty much all around the world. We have English interface with no localization yet. So if you are from the US or other English-speaking countries, so this is definitely the product which I would recommend you to at least to consider too. But of course, I'm really not objective in this case. Okay, but let's go to down to the topic. So initially, I would like to say about email, and what they see that my presentation doesn't look like really good on your screen.
Yeah, I think we're having some problems with the format, but okay, well.
Yeah, shall we try it like once again to share my screen?
Sure. Yeah, let's try that one more time. See if it works better.
Okay. Yeah. So sorry guys for this, but just
All right. Yeah, I think we can see it.
Okay. Can you see it
Yeah.
like presentation mode or presenter mode?
No, I can see
Is
the
it
presentation.
okay? Cool. Which is great then. Okay, so I can continue myself. So initially, email is immortal. I strongly believe in that, and email still remains as a primary and most effective retention channel, retention medium, where you can communicate to your primarily existing customers. It's not a good way to convert new visitors into buying customers, but actually to retain is the best channel. And I always compare email with Messenger, Madonna. That both of them, email is as a technology is quite mature technology. It's quite old by age, as Madonna is not like one of those, Britneys or other youngsters. But both, like email remains the best selling, especially for online businesses, as Madonna remains one of the best selling female singers and composers worldwide. And why is it so? Because both email and Madonna, they kind of managed to adapt to changing environment and to changing technology and changing taste of both like listeners and users of email. So and the stat shows that actually email, the starts is from the US, that according to the survey, 77% of US customers name email as the primary channel which we prefer to be contacted by brands. And the good thing is that 91% of all internet users we check inbox at least once per day. So actually is a channel where people are using really often, and they prefer brands to use this channel to contact customers. Another survey which was conducted in the UK, another part of Atlantic Ocean, shows that the habits are quite similar, and 63% of customers named email as the most preferred channel to be contacted by brands. And we can see the comparison, so that like only 4% say that SMS or text messages is the best channel to communicate to them, and only 2% prefer, for example, phone calls. And even like mobile apps, which mobile is trending and everybody is moving like mobile. We have smartphones everywhere in the world, but only 5% like push notifications. And why is it so? Why do people love email as a communication channel, primarily with brands? It's because this is the single channel where you as a customer may make a decision when to read and what to read. Because if there are like push notifications, social media, which you have to scroll through and you will see the message. If it's like text messages, you cannot avoid them, and you cannot make a decision to read it later or just to skip this time. Although, for example, you are really loyal to that specific brand, but this subject line is not interesting for you specifically. And of course, email as a marketing channel drives revenue. And I believe you guys, as you are primarily from online business, online stores business, so I assume that it drives you like 15 to 30% of all total income. If it does like less, so that means that you are not doing like well with your email marketing. If it does more than 30%, I would assume you are not doing well with other marketing channels. And that means that you are really focused on retaining your customers, but probably not acquiring new ones, which in the long term might not be good for your business. But like 15 to 30%, it's really normal that it drives that percentage of total income to your business. And yeah, being said that email is like primary channel for retaining customers, to communicating with your existing customers. Well, today we will talk about subscribers list and why size matters in this case. Secondly, we will talk about promo campaigns, so sometimes it's being called newsletters. So what's the most important on that? And third, I will cover a little bit of automation and just some few evidence that automation really works, and why should you use automation for your marketing campaigns. So let's start with subscribers. Why is it important? So subscribers, as it's like subscriber list is really a huge asset for your business. And why is it so? The stat shows that only 2 to 3% of all your traffic, all your visits to online store, an e-commerce site, converts into real buying actions. It's like, wow, it's really like mind-blowing. That means that like 98% of my visits do not end as real purchase. And of course, you may check your Google Analytics and see probably you have something similar to this. If you have better, congrats. So what does that mean? That like 90% of my traffic, which I pay for the traffic, what Raul was talking about, that I invest a lot of money in acquiring new customers. They just visit my site, but they do not complete the purchase. So my suggestion would be to use some techniques to some of this traffic to convert them into subscribers. If they are not purchasing from you from the first visit or like from that specific visit, so help them to become subscribers and give yourself a second chance to convert them into real buying customers. So few techniques to be as an example. So first, what I would really recommend is add sign up bars in your footer, or sometimes it might be even in a header in a better position, so it doesn't cost too much. But still, I find quite a lot of online stores who don't have this signable. So this is like a very simple example. Another example is quite simple as well. They just add some more copyright on that. They are promising something that, you know, never miss a sale. You will get exclusive deals, exclusive promos. No one will see it, just you, because you are or you will be our subscriber. So it won't cost you much. Of course, this is not super effective. Then you get those numbers, okay, up to like 0.5%. It's super low. But comparing to that only 2% actually convert and 2% end up in real purchases of your visit. So having even this 0.5% is 1/4 of those who ending up, and it does not cost anything you. And the best thing about this sign up forms in footer is that those visitors who find this form are the best quality subscribers, because they, you know, they scrolled through all your content, they found it in the footer, and they bothered to sign up. So the numbers won't be very impressive here, but the quality will be really great of those signups. And yeah, so if you, okay, say Rytis, you're talking about like technique which helps me to convert like 0.5% of visitors into subscribers. So there's another technique I would like to show and share with you is which might be much more effective, like up to 5%. In some examples, we have those pre-built pop-ups, and I'm talking about pop-ups. So we just did analysis of our customers and then analyzed numbers. So of course, percentage of effective signups, it varies, but it depends on when do you use pop-up and what incentive do you offer. So those pop-ups who have some incentive, for example, free delivery, discount, or etc., they performs better, or like free sample added, or buy one get second for free. Just if only you leave email address for us, you sign up for our newsletter, and you will receive some specific code, unique code, or something like this. So there can be few types of pop-ups. So one can be like welcome pop-up. Upon landing, you just show a pop-up and welcome your visitor. It can be like exit intention pop-up when the visitor is trying to exit your screen and moving mouse out of its browser. So we or other tools who offer this functionality just identify that action and shows exit intention pop-up. Or it might be like, for example, loyalty pop-ups, which are shown after certain time spent on site, or after a few clicks. For example, after 3 or 4 clicks, that means that visitor is already engaged with your store and he's interested in your content. Or it might be on specific, for example, category on, you know, clothes, but not on shoes. And here you can see like very basic, the pop-up, which is asking to leave email address only. Another example with a discount, and use visual elements in pop-ups. Pop-ups with visuals perform much better than pop-ups without visuals. Add some beautiful pictures, add some photos of your products, of, you know, the best you have. So yeah, so here's another example, asking just for email only, but offering discount and double loyalty points. Again, Raul was talking about retention, about loyalty, so we have, you know, giving loyalty points for some specific action is good as well. And another example where our client is asking a bit more data, and actually it's a good opportunity to ask more data, because upon checkout you would never want, for example, to ask birthday date, and there is an issue because very few online stores have birthday date, and birthday greeting emails, they perform quite well, but there is no one to send. There is no data with like subscribers, and there is no one to send those. So actually this is a great example to know an email which might be used for personalization later on, and ask for birthday date, which might be used for another automation scenario, like automated birthday greetings. So yeah, so using those pop-up techniques may help you to increase like conversion rate, visitors to signups up to 5%. Of course, if you combine it with a good incentive. If it's just like simple pop-up, it's still very effective, like 2 to 3%, which means that you double the number of visitors who, like comparing to those who have purchased something, you double the number of visitors and you get a second chance for a sale. And sometimes I get questions. So, okay, Rytis, you are talking about like pop-ups, but I think it's kind of like aggressive technique. I don't want to use it. So in that case, I say, okay, you don't want to use it, but like subscribers list, subscribers database is an asset. And we made analysis, research of our existing clients and just analyzed their promotion campaigns. And here you can see number of orders and how do they correlate with number of subscribers our clients have on their database. So if your database is small, you will get very few orders per campaign. While your database is increasing and numbers of subscribers is growing in the database, it's really growing. And the best thing is that to prepare a promotional campaign, promotional newsletter, takes exactly the same time. But just the effect and outcome of that job is much, much, much higher if you have a proper, good quality and larger database. Why I'm talking about good quality, so the last thing, talking about subscribers, what I would like to mention is never buy any databases. They always are bad quality and you may ruin your online reputation, you may harm yourself, not talking about some legal issues you may face. So work on it. It's maybe better slower, but good quality with your real customers whom you will retain later on. Yeah, so talking about subscribers, so size really matters. So work on your database, work in the database and grow it. Use subscribe forms and pop-ups. They're most effective tools and techniques to really convert your visitors into subscribers, and some of them later on into buying customers. And never buy a list. Please don't do that, because sometimes we see customers who just upload, I knew the guy, he just offered, it was really cheap, and 30,000 of subscribers. He said it's like super good quality list, but then like all my emails went to spam. So what happened? And no tool, no email service provider will like really help you with that if you ruin your own reputation. Okay, so once you have database of subscribers, so what you will probably do to remember those numbers, that people prefer email to be contacted by brands, and of course you will send some promotional campaigns, newsletters. It might be like weekly, daily, bi-weekly, monthly, and so on. So yeah, how often to send is like separate question, and it might be like separate topic. So few things I would like to cover today and then to pay attention at. So first is like sender. Use your brand's name as a sender name always. You may add someone, for example, like Raul, ReferralCandy, Rytis from Soundest, but just once you are sending like promotional campaigns, don't use your name only. As stat shows and research shows that people who do not recognize from whom did they receive an email, they are highly likely that they will mark it as spam, or at least they will delete your messages. Another very important thing is subject line. Subject line, keep it quite short, 10 to 35 characters, and the key has to be set at the beginning. Because more and more emails are being opened on mobile devices. That means that there is very limited room for the subject line. So the key message has to be at the very beginning, and of course expand it later on. Still, half of the readers will open emails on their desktop, so there is a lot of room to read subject lines. And yeah, this is one of those like interesting stats, which is quite surprising that attention span, although is quite short, but it's a bit increasing, and then still. On average, our clients read promotional emails and spend on them more than 11 seconds, which is really like great number. And this number is from Litmus. You may probably be familiar. It's like some deliverability and email quality service. So so yeah. And in previous year, you can see on this slide that in previous year, more and more people like read a bit more than we spend more than 8 seconds with your email. However, half of them they make a decision either they want to engage more in like initial couple of seconds or like at least 8 seconds. So it's really like you have very short time to make an intrigue and to make your customers understand that, okay, the content is relevant, the content is interesting for me, and I will stay longer.
Rytis, I would like to jump in here real quick because when we were preparing the webinar, remember I was really surprised to see this chart. I don't know if you guys are also surprised to see this chart where it shows actually the one where it shows that more than half people spend more than 8 seconds on an email. That's just something I never expected. That people spend more than half the people that open your email spends more than 8 seconds on it. That's, I don't know. I was just surprised to learn that. I did not expect it at all. I mean, I guess I was using myself as an example. And whenever I get a marketing email from a company, I just usually scroll around it, see if there's anything that I can get from it, and if it's just promotional, I close it. So I don't think I spend more than eight seconds. But I mean, I guess the world's just not only me. So I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm actually surprised to see this chart.
Definitely, but you know, we marketers, marketing specialists, we a bit kind of you know, we behave a bit differently as it's like professional, you know,
I guess.
disease.
Yep.
But you can imagine
We're
like
immune to
doctor
it, I
coming
guess.
back home. Yeah, like whatever, like you know, salesperson who was like on the ground all day, or doctor or lawyer, and he's coming back home, and he's like sits down by a computer which was not like used by him like all day long, and he's not in marketing at all. So
True.
and of course we're talking about like brands as I was talking about quality of email lists. So if I rely on brand, if I trust in it, so and I have subscribed by myself, it's not a spam which is, you know, went to my inbox. So I'm really interested what are they offering. And as email allows me to really pick the topics which I'm interested at, so according to the subject line, I decide if I'm going to open and read it more or no. And I have shared the link to the source of this infographic. So if your role may post it to the audience on the chat, so
Absolutely.
everyone can go and see it. Yeah. So coming back to the presentation and to that attention span. So definitely like the primary asset on your email is the same as on the website. It's like above a fold, which is being seen on first screen. So it's just the most important. Content has to be here. And here's another link on Pinterest. We have a board with a lot of examples, like good examples of different emails, both promotional campaigns, email campaigns, abundant content reminders. So feel free to visit our Pinterest board and to get some inspiration there. Yeah, so summing up this about promo campaigns, so use your brand name, so help your readers and your customers to understand who is communicating, who is sending out the message. Keep subject line short, and the most important has to come in the front of subject line, and on mobile, it's really limited symbols which are shown, limited characters. And get inspiration for the content. So sometimes we talk with clients that, okay, I didn't know what to send. I'm not a designer, can't make a beautiful email. So it's not a problem. It's just really like on our Pinterest board, other online sources, just Google for inspiration, and you will find great examples from the companies in your market, in your field, and really I believe you can make it great. And the last part of my presentation is about automation. Why is it important, and just a few proofs that it really works. And I will share a couple of automation flows, automation scenarios. One is welcome emails. So we were talking about that, you know, some of those customers who do not complete a purchase during their visit to your online store, they become your subscribers. So you already get a lead. It's a prospective customer. So don't forget to greet the one and send out welcome email. So it might be like a single email, like in this example. In this example, the discount is offered directly, or it might be a series of few emails, and each email is asking to complete like any specific task. And in this example, you can see that invite a friend and earn 20 bucks, which is already like trying to engage new sign up customer and refer it already to a friend. And it's really interesting that at the moment when people are signing up to your newsletter, they are really your brand's advocate. Although it doesn't look like, it might be like a bit, you know, sounds a bit strange that, okay, they haven't even purchased my product, but at the moment when people are leaving their email address, which we believe it's really like asset email address, and if they have made a decision to leave you their own email address, so at that moment they're really your advocates. So use that moment to convert them into proactive advocates, and follow those techniques Raul have shared with you today. And you have around 30 days to convert new subscribers into buying customers. If you do not succeed in 30 days, so probability to do it later is very, very, very low. And another example I wanted to share about automation and why should it be used. So abundant cart reminders. So 70% of all carts are being abundant. So, but people are adding products to shopping carts, but they do not complete the purchase. And only 30% of those formed, already active shopping carts are being like completed to purchase and to real order. So the reasons why it happens, there are so many of the reasons. Primarily, and mainly is because once we see the final price with delivery cost, they decide that maybe the price is a bit too high. So what can you do? You can send out reminder campaigns. It might be like single email, or it might be campaign of, for example, 3 emails. So open rate is much higher comparing to promotional emails. It's like 2.5 times, but click rate is even more higher. So instead, like less than 4%, you get 14% of click rate. So that means that people are engaging much more with those emails who are sent on the right time with the right message, adding the products they have left on the cart. And the best thing, that is conversion rate. That means that like read through process and click through and going to conversion, those emails, it's much more effective. So I would really suggest you to use any like tool. There are tools, Soundest and other tools on the market to really automate and to send out reminders for all the abundant carts. So this is kind of a way to retain customer as well, that customer was visiting you kind of anonymously, and you identified that person and you send out a reminder with abundant carts and maybe with some incentive. Because I said initially, yeah, that the primary reason why do people abandon the cart is because they do not they find that the final price is a bit too high for them. And yeah, we have like US data here from our customers. So like if promotional, each like single send out promotional email to one subscriber earns you a bit less than 20 cents. So single cart to cover email on average earns you $3.5, which is really great. Great numbers, much higher numbers. And I would advocate using campaign, abundant cart reminders campaign, instead of using single email, because it's much more effective. So if like first email really covers like more than 5% of all abundant carts, so having a series may almost triple your results. And here is an example, like a case study of like Muslim music. So we have analyzed that data. So like first email is the most effective. It's really effective. But if you like offer a discount on a third email or any other incentive, like for example, free delivery or some free samples and so on, which might be offered on third email only, so it may become like the most effective email. Of course, you will lose a little bit of your margin, but still you will get the sale. So about automation, setup automation, use it. If you do not use yet, use various flows. So I have mentioned like welcome and abundant cart, but there might be like customer reactivation scenarios, birthday greetings, order follow-up scenarios, a lot of different ways to return, but it's definitely like another topic, not for today. And give incentive. Incentive really helps to retain customer and to convert visitor again, interested person into real buying customer. Yeah, so that's it from my side for tonight, and yeah, waiting for your questions. Not tonight, yeah, this morning. Yeah, that's being global.
That's absolutely that's the thing. I mean, I don't. We have people from the U.S. Both of us are here in Spain, so not in Spain, in Europe. I'm actually in Spain, so yeah, it's already late afternoon for us here. Again, thank you so much for your presentation. Like I anticipated, guys, I'm sure you guys have learned a lot from his presentation. I learned a lot just by working with Rytis for the past couple of weeks. Very interesting data, very interesting tips that you've shared, and I'm pretty sure that as soon as we finish the webinar, some of these tips you can actually put them into practice right away. So, guys, we are now about to start the Q&A session. We are gonna have about 5 to 10 minutes for this. So yeah, please write the questions here in the chat box. We have one pending from Ari, who asked me before. Let me go back to the question. So I'd love to hear how ReferralCandy stands out from other options. So something that we something that we do is that we are first of all focused on small and medium online retailers, and we have that with I would say two main features that we offer. First of all is that we focus a lot on giving great support to those accounts, because we understand that small companies they deserve to get a lot of help, and also we understand that most of these accounts might not be run by professional marketers, so we need to also give our opinion and give our suggestion, because we've seen lots of referral campaigns around there, and so we want always to give tips, and also we understand that our customers need answers to this question quickly, so we spend a lot of we put a lot of efforts in that, and also we offer a very affordable pricing. I mean, if you compare option to the other competitors in the market, no one's it's giving you a referral program for just $25 a month. And I will say, if I can add a third one, is that we do not put in sort of caps or limits on how much you can get from your referral program. And so will other competitors say, okay, you can pay $50 a month or $60 a month, but you get only 100 advocates, or you get up to $1,000 in referral sales, whatever cap they're putting. We don't put anything, because we understand that it just doesn't make sense to cap your success with your referral program. So I would say that that's how we try to stand out from the competition. And in terms of the content that I was sharing before. Again, we put a lot of effort in providing a lot of free content. I mean, these webinars are part of this. The main goal of these webinars is to get you guys information and insights that you can use for your e-commerce store. And that's why we bring people like Rytis to tell you guys today specifically about user retention. So I hope that answers your question. We have more questions here, so thank you so much. We'll appreciate if you share more webinars like this. Absolutely, we have webinars like this pretty much every week. So stay tuned. You'll receive an email from us very soon, probably. Deborah's asking, could you please share that slide again about the footers? So Rytis, that question is actually, is that question for you or for me? Because I also share an image about the footer. So Deborah, if you could specify which one, that would be great. Yes, this webinar is being recorded right now. It will be sent to everyone probably tomorrow. Yeah, so that's it. So Deborah, yeah, if you can let us know what specifically you would like to get, we'll show you. And this
otherwise, yeah, all the content is being recorded, so you will get the presentation together with our voice on it. So
yeah, exactly. Actually, so this question is for you. So it's the show footer on email on Soundest. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna give you the screen again, Rytis, so you can share it. In the meantime, well, actually, before I do that, so real quick, these are the giveaways that we're giving today. So if you're considering automating your email marketing campaigns, Soundest, they give you 30% off for 3 months. This is the code that you can use. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy paste this into the chat box so you can use it. It's RC webinar 1707. So guys, let me know if you can see it, and I'm also going to put the link to the referral link so you can sign up on ReferralCandy and get an extended trial for 60 days instead of the regular 30 that we offer. So it's 2 months and you can definitely start getting referral sales. So guys, let me know if you can see both the promo link from that Soundest and the referral link, so you can sign up on ReferralCandy. And then yes, Rytis, I'm going to give you back the screen so you can share that slide about the footer in the emails.
Can you see? Can you see now?
That's
I'm not sure if it's like. Yeah. Okay, that's a proper one. So I'm not sure what the question of Deborah was like specifically.
Deborah, yeah, what exactly you would like to see on the footer? Okay, no, I think we just wanted to check it again.
Okay.
We have another question. This one is for you, Rytis. Let me find it real quick. So yeah, Soundest has some cool features and solid UI, but not dynamic functionality. It's all static. How does it work?
I'm not sure if I really got the question. Like Soundest, does it?
Yeah, so it says that Soundest has some cool features and solid UI, but not dynamic functionality, or it's all static. Or maybe, all right, yeah, if you could probably maybe rephrase that, or let me know exactly what you would like us to explain.
Yeah, that about like, so thank you that you found like a great functionality, which is great, but what about like static? I assume that might be about like segmentation and things.
Yeah, so it says yeah, so basically any plan that adds dynamic functionality, so like segmentation, promo codes.
Yes, absolutely. So we are working hardly on it, and we actually have what's next plan. So if you visit soundest.com/what's next, or it's the link on footer on our blog, which I really like. I invite everyone to follow our blog, soundest.com/blog. So we have a what's next plan, and we're working hardly recently already for improving like list building and some dynamic we will add at first we will improve our segmentation much. So it's the first thing what will be done, and the second thing what will be done. So we will add much more automation flows, both with like absolutely customizable, and as we have already now some with default text, and then that you don't have to think over, you just may use it, and all of that will be done this year. So even before Black Friday season and all, like winter sale season. So in upcoming like 2-3 months, a lot of new features are coming. And yeah, so I will share a link of what's next plan. So we have kind of stated our plan for this year at the very beginning of the year, and we are following it. So everyone may be sure what kind of features are coming in next quarter. Yeah, and cool. I'm glad that you like Raul. Thank you.
Sounds good. Yeah, so we also have another question. So, so is it easy to install ReferralCandy in a web shop driven by eCommerce? I'm not sure I'm familiar with that platform. You mean WooCommerce? If you mean WooCommerce, yes, we have an integration for WooCommerce. We actually have an integration for all major e-commerce platforms, so Shopify, Magento, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, and even if you have your own custom solution, as long as you're able to copy and paste a piece of code and either forward or BCC us in your invoice emails, we're able to track all the referral activity happening in your store. So yeah. So is ReferralCandy a marketing automation tool as well? Can you replace email services like MailChimp or other marketing automation services? We're mostly, I will say, exclusively a referral solution. So pretty much all the emails that you get that you send out from our platform are optimized for referrals. So if you're thinking about optimizing your email marketing campaign, I recommend you to have another solution for that specifically. Also because like Soundest, because you will get way better solutions. I believe that each app is optimized for one specific purpose, and Rytis, you might agree with me on this, is that there's not really right. There's not really like a one size fits all solution for all things marketing.
No, yeah, and if visitor webinar is using MailChimp recently, so really I invite you to try out Soundest, as it's really like a much more seamless tool, and we focus on e-commerce only. So a lot of like different, sometimes quite small features, but the entire tool is much more convenient for online stores, and it saves really much time comparing to other rivals once you are composing campaigns and once you are setting automation. That's a lot of things we have, like default texts, and a lot of things are like already pre-done for you.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree that there is no like one size fits all. And for example, you may add some loyalty data and referral data to once you want to Soundest once you're sending out promotional campaigns or automated emails.
Sounds good. We have another question about someone's trying to sign up on ReferralCandy right now. Yeah, as long as you follow the link that I put on the chat box, and you just follow it, it'll take you to the ReferralCandy main page. But again, we'll be able to track that link. So yeah, just sign up. And if you have questions about integration, I'm gonna actually leave my email here on the chat box as well. ReferralCandy.com. Feel free to email me about that, specifically about the integration, and we'll cover that after the webinar. Let me see.
And Raul, if you please, I may share my link, because I kind of cannot like share.
Absolutely.
With the chat, I do not control the chat. You do. So
yes.
Yeah. So I promise. Yeah. So it's about our plans for this year, and we are keeping this plan, and we'll keep it by the end of the year.
Sounds good. Yeah, no, I just shared the link with the audience. We
Mhm.
have other question. Yeah, so Soundest looks amazing, much better than Mailchimp, easier to use, easier to add product, gets lots of sales. So yeah, well, that's a great compliment.
Thank you, thank you. Great. Love to have you as a customer. Thank you.
All right, so we have another question about how do you avoid fraud? All right, that's a great question. That's a question that we ask a lot here at Referral Candy, and there's no sure answer for this, I'm afraid, but we have several ways to track when a referral is being fraudulent. We were able to blacklist some advocates, so to make sure that they don't harm the company. We have ways to identify this sales, and also we have recommendations that we give to the stores in order to be able to run a healthy, let's say, referral program. But yeah, feel free to send me an email so I can receive it in my inbox and I can get back to you about fraud. But it's a great question. It's something that we get asked a lot. Yeah, lots of love for Soundest, and I think we're gonna go for the last question. It's about how we can ask them. Okay, so yeah, I think it will be great, Rytis, if I share your email or like some sort of email so they can reach out to you and ask you questions about Soundest. Do you think that will be?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So just I think I'm leaving for 2 weeks holiday tomorrow.
Oh, nice,
so
well deserved.
so that will be yeah, so that will be like auto replies a little bit, but otherwise I'm always available for communication. So I think I'm sharing like my colleague's email as well as mine. So
Perfect.
if the questions are not urgent, so I'm always would gladly like communicate and answer all the questions, or my colleague may help you like immediately tomorrow or even today. And it's always like once the app installed, so we have 24/7 support. So there is in-app chat or via email. So average response time to your queries is 12 minutes. So it's quite fast.
Awesome. Sounds good. So we're gonna leave it here. We are well over the 60 minutes, but that's great. I love when the webinars last for longer than 60 minutes. It means that the audience is it's been engaged, and we got a lot of questions today. So that's great. I love that. But yeah, we're gonna leave it here, guys. You have my email. You have Rytis. You have Polio's email, which is Rytis' colleague. Will Rytis is on a very well deserved vacation. So right now I would like to thank you for being here on the day before your holidays and enjoy your time. And to the rest of
Thank
you,
you.
see you at the next time. You guys will receive emails for our next webinar. So I hope to see the same names again here in a couple of weeks. Rytis, again, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise, thank you for inviting me, Raul, and thank you for the audience for patience and for staying with us.
Absolutely. All right. See you guys the next time. Bye bye.
Bye for now.